gonna have, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Forewarning to anybody, I'm gonna try and put the good stuff at the beginning, and then talk about some really interesting things that have been in my head. So just bear with me for today's show. It's kind of like one of those intuitive shows, and I'm just going to bring up one of the charts that I talked about before. So I want to mention something. If you haven't watched it, it's been posted everywhere. But LIN Wood and Mr. Mike of My Pillows have been like, it's been amazing. They actually did some really interesting speeches in Tulsa. I believe they were both there. And Lynn Wood especially. And so the 8 minutes of Lynn Wood is something that every person needs to watch today. If you haven't watched it, it is so empowering. I don't care what anybody says about how he's not supposed to reveal himself. We're at the time where the shit's about to hit the fan. So this is when all is being revealed. So as far as I believe there was a thing on Bill Maher where he's actually questioning the whole agenda now, and he doesn't like Trump one bit. So I'm happy that all hello. Yes, Ontario police are standing up. And that's another thing I want to talk about is there was a post about how I believe the National Guard, I'll have to check my phone, is being, they have to retake their oath. You're going to see a lot of this. They will have to retake their oath because they're going to all go to constitutional law, which is what we've all been fighting for, is our, common law, constitutional law, our basic right to travel freely without people getting on our case. It's basically do no harm. So, and that is one part of NESARA GESARA. And if you don't know what that means, it's the National Economic Security and Reformation Act, and the other one is the Global Economic Securities and Reformation Acts. Basically, they're all tied together because of the Federal Reserve was built on a pyramid scheme on our backs since we've been born. And so I want to get people kind of caught up to that part of the tyranny that's being broken down, because there's some new people that are just newly awakening and they don't understand or understand what's happening here. So the whole reason we've been going through this is, yes, Lynn does come out and say that it's all true. And everything that we're fighting, the cabal and all that crap is true. And he's being very vocal about it. It's amazing. And Jim Caviezel, who also did works with Tim Ballard in Operation Underground Railroad, I believe it's called. They're doing their movie that's coming out soon. And he literally talked about how right now they are pulling kids out of the tunnels. So today I want to make a shout out to, again, all of the military and all of the freedom fighters out there standing and marching for not only helping the children, but also fighting the fight this whole time while we were sleeping. So I'm very much in appreciation of all of them. So I want to talk quickly about the Sound of Freedom. Thank you. I wanted to talk quickly about these timelines right now, because there's some people predicting stuff, and I want to talk about why predictions kind of will F us up a little bit. And I don't want to talk about what somebody else says. I'm just putting it in general terms. It's not one person in particular. So I'm going to talk about these timelines. And if you didn't see this video before, this is basically where we are right now, is in the middle. Okay. And what we're trying to do is march everybody through the truth up to these vibrations up here. Just imagine these are like low vibrations, like a flatline heartbeat, basically. You're almost dead, sleeping. And then all the way up here, okay? So we're trying to awaken everybody's pineal gland and then get them to recognize their own life path here. and where they fit into this timeline. So it's important as the collective consciousness, that's the energy around the globe. This is the globe. I couldn't draw what it really looks like on here, so y'all know it's Earth. I should have just wrote Earth. So what our heart love vibrations from here, we have to take our thoughts from our heart and put them in our pineal gland as the collective consciousness in love and now time, and march through the truth and forgiveness. Okay. So why I'm showing you this is because some people are projecting when certain things are going to be happening. Whoops. When certain things are going to be happening. So they're kind of pushing, say, the fifth letter and then the second letter, and I don't know what S is, but anyways, you get the picture. That system is going to go whoop. So they're projecting when that's going to be. Well, what that does is it takes a whole group of light workers and pushes their timeline into here. And that's not where we need people to be. We need people to be here, right now, in present day, in present time, and accepting the information that's coming out, however it's coming out, whether it's been slowly dropping on MSM or however that looks. We need to appreciate the why it's being told right now and why these certain people are telling that. So make no mistake, again, I will repeat, the Ivanka whole thing had to do with getting people out of this old timeline. If you didn't get that, it's really hard to explain that. So there's people, put it this way, that don't like Trump, who would have seen that and would be like, well, if she's getting it, I'm not going to get it. I swear to God, that's how basic it's coming. So who knows how many people she saved by doing that, believe it or not. And for the rest of the people, I did mention this yesterday, the family members that go, tell them to check their life insurance to see if they're covered before they get this experimental thing. It's experimental. It's experimental. And if you didn't know it already, it was again just reported I have that on my Telegram as well, that it's the mark of the beast. There you go. I said it. So that's the time in the Bible we're getting to, is like people accepting the mark of the beast and just being slaves to the old system of the pyramid. Or are you jumping into your consciousness here, raising the vibrations like with the rest of humanity to keep us in now time, although we're keeping the vision of the earth being healed in the present moment as if it's happened. So what I mean by that is, I am grateful to be present in enlightened love. I am of light and love body. And I'm already sitting in a space of peacefulness where the earth is healed and in a place of tranquility. And what I'm doing to that is bringing the vibration higher. I'm not talking about what kind of money I need to do, what projects. I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm looking forward in my mind through my third eye and being in a timeline that's beautiful and healed, whether that's 500 years from now, where we don't even hardly remember this. We don't want to remember this. We remember only to learn from it. So that's where I project myself, in a place of like, like in the movie Contact, where Jodie Foster goes and meets her dad and she sees all these beautiful things around her, and it's like oceans and planets and things right there. And it's so beautiful and so peaceful. That's really ultimately where I take myself, and a place where everybody is already walking around and we all see these different creatures, and we're just in such peace and love and tranquility, and that's where I sit in my heart vibration a lot. So yesterday out walking, this is going to be, yes, the flag at the speech had gold fringe. Oh, okay. I didn't see. There was a picture. I think it was where it was Kamala, or what was happening. Oh, the milk jug thing. And there was no fringes, gold fringes on the flag. I did see that picture where there was one picture where there was no fringe on the flag. So I was like, whoop, whoop. So anyways, we're getting to a point where everything will be revealed. So yesterday I was out walking and it was probably 18 to 20 degrees in Calgary with no wind. It was like a beautiful, probably late June day. It was amazing for April 17th. And so I walked really, really far. I don't know. I don't even want to know how far I walked. But on the way back home along the river, I see this card, like a playing card. And the last time I saw a card last year, it was the 9 of Diamonds, which was a good card. And then the only other time I've seen a card laying out, I always take pictures of cards because they, to me, have meaning. There's no coincidences. Anyways, this was the 7 of Spades. So I wanted to read you that or just tell you about it. It basically means that whatever cards you're pairing with that reading, it's true. Like, so it basically confirms the truth. And it also means that there could be a quarrel up and coming. So I'm walking home from that little incident, and the homeless guy I normally talk to, I can't remember his name, I think it's Gerald, but the guy with the nice clean grocery cart and stuff, we get to talking. We're talking about geese at first. I asked him if he's doing his workout, and he seemed to be kind of in a bitchy mood, and I was like, treading carefully. And I said, well, I'm going home right away. I said, I don't really want to be down in this area. There's just going to be too many people around here today. It's warm and there's some rally going on. And as soon as I said, he goes, what's it for? And I'm like, it's a freedom rally. He's like, that's communism. And he just went off the deep end, like literally. So I'm like, okay, well, you're screaming at me. Gotta go. See ya. I'll see ya maybe another day when you're a little bit feeling better. Love you. I literally was yelling, I love you. Goodbye. And he was still yelling full force at me. And I'm like, I'm one of the few people that come by and talk to you, dude. Like, whatever. It's not going to make any difference if you're still in a bad mood, and I'm whatever. So I go across to come by my house, and it's right by the fire department, and there's a big group of people, all of them masked. So I kind of go to avoid the group. And this guy kind of pops in between the car. Excuse me. 1 second. It snowed here today, by the way. Drastic temperature difference. So it's very dry in my apartment because the door is closed and I had my thing on all day. Anyways, so he pops out in between the car, and literally the only way I can describe him is like a skinny Frankenstein. His eyes were like, literally, he looked like he almost had face paint, and I know he was on total drugs. And he came like at me, and I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I was just like, please. I literally said that. And he's like, fuck at me. And I was like, okay, there's my quarrels. I get into, there was a lady coming, a blonde lady coming out, and I think she was maybe even expecting. And I was just kind of watching to see where he was going because I didn't want her to have any common, whatever, have a problem with him. But then her husband and the baby came around, and I'm like, don't worry, like, there's some zombies walking around here. Just be careful. He's like, gotcha. So anyways, it was crazy. So then last night, I normally don't tell my dreams, but I've been having some really crazy dreams these last few weeks. Like I'll just call them almost remote viewing. I can see what's happening in some areas very clearly. I don't need explanations, and I don't need to read about them. Excuse me. I can tell you exactly what the heck's going on in there. So I had a dream about last night, and I didn't sleep very well, and I know it was because the energy was like, I literally feel like I'm constantly riding on a flatbed truck right now, like in my apartment, just like my whole body's been doing this. And so the night before last, I was battling in my sleep so bad that I actually ripped my queen size sheet about this much with my feet, just like thrashing away. That's not a normal thing for me. And I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, and the sheet wasn't truly that old. So it was amazing that actually happened. And So then last night, and I had really weird dreams that I almost remembered. And then last night, I had the most amazing dream. I had a whole bunch of dreams where I was helping with rescues. And then I was cleaning my window I was cleaning my window today when I remembered this dream. And I remembered it when I woke up, but then it kind of faded, and it took me being triggered again to remember it. Well, I dreamt that a bird flew like right in my window at me like this. And guess what it was? A dove. No shit. Like I was like, that is so cool. So those little things are kind of making me feel a lot more happy, just saying. So I hope you're recognizing that in yourself. So one of the things Lynn talked about in his speech was do your research. That's why I named this. And I want you all to research your birth chart. Go in birth chart calculator. I don't care which one you pick, for free, and go do it and read on yourself. I ain't going to do anybody's stuff here, but I will read you some of mine just to let you know how accurate and comical it is. Okay. I read this screenshot this and sent it to Galactic Spice, and we were actually just howling. And actually, I'm wearing my taco shirt today for Taco Spice. It says I'm a hot mess. It's got a taco on it. So, okay, you have a mourning dove hanging around your balcony. Oh, this will really be cool. Okay, so anyways, yesterday I saw a woodpecker while I was on the phone with Taco Spice. I saw a woodpecker, a crow just about flew and hit me in the back of the head. And this was really hilarious because I have a magical way of talking to birds. I don't care what anybody says. People have seen it before, and I posted my video about the owl on my Telegram, my Facebook, and everything. It's a video of me going, oh, come on, show me your pretty eyes. And the owl turns around and bats his eyes at me. And that's like a little 15-second clip. It was beautiful. But yesterday, this magpie comes and pops down, and I think he thought I had treats or something. He's really friendly. I think it's one of the ones Frankie feeds, my neighbor. And so he pops down, and then he pops down beside me, and I'm like, well, aren't you a good looking pretty bird? And he's like, all his feathers ruffle up like this. And I'm like, he's cracking up. And then he's like, and I'm like, yeah, you're good looking. You know, you're good looking. He's just sitting there. Oh, funny. Yes. Told me souls speak through the birds. Oh, I believe that 100% souls speak through the birds. Like the crows are always telling me something. So here's my birth chart, because there's a few people in the very beginning when I started doing it. I have a really interesting, like it's almost all on one side of the thing. Because I did my kids and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, stop it, meow. Okay, so here we go. Ascendant in Virgo. This is the first house. I didn't really get how this crap worked until I looked at the chart. So please do your research on yourself. People with Virgo ascendant develop best through spiritual analysis, discernment, and self-criticism. Application of knowledge must be appropriate and consider the benefit that it brings. It must be beneficial to the public. The focus is interest in body and health. It is necessary to carefully select negative experiences in the person's mind and get rid of them. Beware of obsession with neatness, precision, and perfection, because the person loses his natural spontaneity. That is me 1,000%. These people tend to be mentally active. They often think about their behavior and trying to find an explanation for it. Yep. They function as a connector or mediator. They act through spoken or written words. These people try to achieve several, usually intellectual goals at once. They like to have fun and they like to travel, most often with their family and friends. No, I don't like traveling with my family and friends. Friends, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really tried it. I've only been on maybe one trip with a spouse, like partner, and then one, and that was meh. And no offense, dude, but you kind of had a temper tantrum a couple of times. So, and the other time it was fun, but yeah, anyways. These people rise higher and higher, and they control others. Predisposition to leadership or to influence others. I can't help it, man. Okay, so I gotta find that one spot that I couldn't. I gotta go right to the group chat because it was so flippin' hilarious. I circled it actually because I was like cracking right up. Bam, 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 and giving a shout out to Galactic Spice for putting up with my shenanigans. She's sleeping right now. I'm hoping she's having a good rest. So this is really funny. People with Mars in Sagittarius, they think there is nothing more important than their goals, and they are at the best of everything. Fortunately, they show it in a funny way. They are convinced that the freedom of movement is the right that we are born with, and that we should have the opportunity to go anywhere we wish if we have the need to do so. Come on, that's so funny. This is really funny too. When they want sex, they want a lot of it, and they want it right now. That's true. At other times, they can be surprisingly indifferent. Take it or leave it. That explains a whole year of being celibate, dudes. Don't even try. That brings me to another thing. If I give you my phone number, don't friggin' text me at 1:30 in the morning. Rude. I know what you want. So, yes, birth charts for free. Yeah. I went through DuckDuckGo. This one is horoscope.astro seek.com. So horoscopes, yeah, that's what it looks like. Anyways, I'm having a hot flash in the city. Oh yeah, it's back to this SEX thing. At other times, they can be surprisingly indifferent. Take it or leave it. It depends on what's currently going on, whether they're frustrated or on a mission. Oh, hilarious. Mars in the third house suggests aggressive and active intellect. These people are bright and quick-witted, but they tend to make hasty decisions. They are direct and sharp. They tend to cause conflicts in their family, and they often criticize personal shortcomings of others. They are always in a hurry, and they are very competitive. I'm not so much in a hurry anymore, and I'm only in competition with myself. So, like, I don't really give two poops what most other people are doing. So that made me laugh. Okay, where's the other one? Okay, so here we go. 10th house in Gemini. People with Gemini on the 10th cusp usually excel in professions that require good literacy, articulacy, and intelligence. They enjoy work that is diverse and fast, moving forward fast. These people are able to present their ideas clearly, and like to communicate with others. Their work may be varied and stimulating. Otherwise, they will be immediately bored. That is me. What are you asking for, Renee? What does that mean? Oh, I don't know what some of these things mean. They're just it's all talking about where my houses align, if that's what you're asking. Career of these people involves rich social life. They are tireless workers aiming at absolute independence. At mature age, they often become well known. Well, I don't really care about that part, but trust me, it freaks me out a little bit when people come running at me a little bit. But I think it's sweet what happened yesterday, and I'll say hi, Linda. I'll tell you in a second. So this is the last part I'm going to read you because now you understand previous partners, okay? I can't help it. It's because my Virgo rising sun, ascendant in Virgo, descendant in Pisces is all, I don't know what the frig that means, but it basically means this. If your partner seems useless, unreliable, and listless, then you should get rid of your criticism and vigilance and learn to understand that there are things between heaven and earth that cannot be measured, classified, or validated. If you feel that your partner always needs care and supervision, it's because you put him in this role. Let go of the things that you will see. He is capable of much more than you think. I circled all of that. And I put, get rid of your partner. I think I'm funny. It's just a good light humor. Go read about yourselves. It's hysterical. Hysterical. It does sound like a pharmaceutical commercial. Well, we're just having a good laugh. And then I did my sons. Oh my goodness. My two oldest sons have the same, one's a life path 5, the other one's a life path 7. One's a Gemini, one's a Cancer. However, they share one common thing, and it's horrible to me. And it's this thing about how they have trouble letting go of whatever wrongdoing their mother did to them. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, that is hilarious. So I'm going to do a card reading now, because whatever card reading I'm going to do today is going to be confirmation. That's how I look at it. And there's one popping out. Yes. Yes, that's true, Missy. A man is as good as he will ever be the first day you met him. That is true. Don't even try and change anybody. It's not worth it until med beds come along. I'm just kidding. There's a card. Oh, like I said, didn't know how long the show was going to go and what it's going to be about, but it's all about doing your own research and finding out who you are. And I tell you, I read things like that and it humbles me even more. I mean, it says one part in there that I'm bossy, and yeah, I can be really super bossy. I was kind of more of a nag with my kids. Your room clean? Did you clean your room yet? How about now yet? How about now? How about right now? And they'd just be still standing there. So I was that kind of mom a little bit. And then when they wouldn't listen. So this is a lovely thing that happened yesterday. I don't believe in idolizing people. I don't get that whole thing. And that's why I say, like, even don't take everything I say, like, at the holy. That's what Raven said. I don't believe in this whole celebrity thing. I think we all have a role to play. I'm just a freaking loudmouth messenger. That's how I felt since day one, for a long time, even before the truth came out. Okay. Anyhow, so use all your wisdom and everything and put it together and research yourself and find out what your role is when you do your birth chart. That's all I'm asking people to do when they're doing the research. So it's hilarious. What all agenda relations over did you learn? Yes, thank you, pass. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm seriously. Oh, goodness. You guys. Okay, everybody have a guess. It's not something I pulled yesterday. OMG. Love it both. Love it both. I love it both because both have the same card value when you add them up. And you guys aren't even going to believe what it is. The B, number 16, which adds up to 7. What card did I just have yesterday? And the Bard, which is number 7. So this is about luck, and this is about music, poetry, myth, storytelling. Lucky storytelling, people. There you go. So I think this is all when we put on our faith and have faith in our own self, because sweet victory is on its way, it looks like. I'm so excited. So, number 16. Luck, industriousness, and sweet victory. When the bee buzzes on your path, it's a reminder that with hard work and firm commitment to building your dream, sweet outcome is assured. The bee is a symbol of luck, so expect miracles and your life will be victorious and sweet. Remember that you also create your own luck. That is, effort is essential as you progress along your path in order to make your dreams a reality. The bee is an industrious, busy creature that's always making honey. The bee gets busy, and that honey will soon be yours. The bee is always a fortunate omen. Yay! I love it. Love it. I am full of surprises today. Okay, so the card represents music. The Bard represents music, storytelling, and the passing of truths, myths, and legends from generation to generations through the spoken word or song. Excuse me, you're effing welcome. Didn't I just say that in my chart reading? In ancient Avalon, the traditions and stories of the people were gathered on the leaves that served as letters in a living alphabet and were tended in a vast long houses. Here the druids and priestesses came to read and weave the stories of magic and the sacred relationship to the god, goddess and the mystery. Those schooled in the art of music and storytelling were given the task of informing their world and keeping the stories and their cultures alive. They were given the name of bard. When the bard appears, you're asked to seek answers in your personal history, go back into your own story, and find threads of the patterns in your reality, trace their length to the present. Perhaps you'll be surprised by how much of your past or that of your ancestors still weaves its influence on you today. When the bard appears, he asks you to retrieve the stories woven in the past. Perhaps you need to learn about the history of someone or something important to your inquiry. The seeds of the future are always hidden in the soils of the past. It's time to dig a little to find the clarity you need. Don't be afraid to learn the patterns of history. That's literally what we're just talking about in the timeline. We need to learn to stay present, but learn from our past and not go too far forward. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep present. The only way to honor them or to change them is to know them. Perhaps it's time to listen to music and always allow yourself to be carried into the land of memory and listen for its messages as the strings of your soul are strummed by the hand of the divine. Remember that the bard appears to help you stay in tune with all that is. You are music and your story is sung in the heavens. Yay! And I want to point out too that Lynn also said about the what did he say now? Oh, about putting on the armor and trusting and having faith and, you know, sharing in all of that's going on here. Like, that's what we've got to focus on is if you pray, pray. If you meditate, meditate. This is the time, people. It is now. It is now. So do your research. Go look up those amazing little fun tidbits that I talked about. And I don't know why my vid on Crackbook isn't working properly. But yes, Mr. Wood is on fire, and I appreciate it. So I appreciate all of you. I'm completely grateful for everybody who tunes in and watches, and you're just amazing bunch of human beings. I'm truly honored and truly grateful. And thank you, Tracy, again, for your beautiful donations. I literally am honored and grateful for everybody who has sent me kind words on the Donald Trump portrait. You can still email a bid in to ravenmoonstoneart@protonmail.com, and I'm sure it's going to go to a lovely home. So I might keep it for a bit if, yeah, if I don't get any good bids. So no offense, but I'm going to probably hang it right there, right there. So yes, I love you guys all. Thank you very much for being with me on this part of your journey.